In this video, I'm talking about an accessory. Well, I say accessory, I can be slightly demeaning to this particular product because this product has the capacity or the potential to completely change the sound of your hi-fi, and for the better. So calling it a mere accessory doesn't really do it justice. And what is it? Well, it's called the AC-2K. It's from a UK company called Audio, and it's a power supply. Well, technically I suppose it's a power transformer if you want to be completely correct in terminology terms, but a power supply by any other name. Basically, you plug your entire hi-fi into this box, and then the box hooks up to a wall socket to the mains electricity supply. But basically your hi-fi actually goes through this box, the AC-2K. Now when I say it's a power supply, a power transformer, the selling point, the reason it exists, is because it's a balanced power transformer. It costs £5 short of £1,500, that's £1,495, and its job, its main purpose, is to lower the noise floor and hence to increase the sound quality of your hi-fi, your entire hi-fi. Basically, any product that goes through this box should, in theory, improve its sonic capabilities. According to Audio, this unit, quote, attenuates power line noise, then eliminates the earth loop, reduces the radiated fields from power cords, reduces interference between equipment and the reactive current in the earth wire. The power is supplied by a low impedance balanced output transformer with an earth tapped secondary. The transformer core is, says the company, and I quote, run at reduced flux density, is impregnated with varnish and the center hole filled with resin and supported on an anti-vibration platform to reduce mechanical buzz. It's then isolated within a 4mm aluminium case with further dampening bonded to the casework. The configuration produces an output voltage consisting of symmetrical pairs of identical but out of phase voltages. The reduced noise floor is there because at the central earth point these equal and opposite currents meet and then cancel each other out. They are not superimposed on the earth, says Audio. This sort of noise reduction is known as common mode rejection, and it's a technology which is used in, well, in a variety of hi-fi gear. I've seen one or two DACs, for example, using common mode reduction to reduce the noise floor. Well, that's the very center of the AC-2K. And how do you connect your hi-fi to this box? And it's a hulking great box because it weighs around 16 kilograms, so bend those knees, folks. But how do you connect your hi-fi to the box? Well, I assume you have cables connected already to some sort of power block of whatever quality that might be. All you have to do is plug that power block into the AC-2K. Now there's only one socket on the AC-2K, and Audio say that it's okay to connect your power blocks in serial if you have more than one. So you would have a power block connected to a power block connected to the AC-2K. That's how you would do it if you have more than one power block in your system. I do, and that's how I did it during the sound tests, and it was fine. You can use power blocks which are just your basic vanilla power blocks, or they can be quite fancy. Audio actually recommend you use some sort of star wired distribution block, but that's not absolutely essential. If you don't have one, don't worry about that. The power blocks can have passive noise reduction in them, they're okay as well. The only thing really you should avoid connecting to the AC-2K are things like power conditioners, active noise reducers. I would avoid those. If it's a passive system, has some passive noise reduction sort of in your power block, then that should be fine. Now if you do grab an AC-2K, give the unit a little bit of space, around 25 millimeters of space around the actual box. I was intrigued to find out that the box itself uses a 16 amp IEC. This is to lower the impedance, and there's also a switch at the back. Now this switch is not a dramatically important switch, but it's useful because when you turn it on, the readout on the front of the AC-2K will come alive in its beautiful LED loveliness. This switch operates the voltage display seen on the front of the chassis. In the UK, Air Audio does say that if your supply ranges over 253 volts or less than 207 volts, then you may wish to reset the transformer, and there's 3 settings available. If this applies to you, I would talk to Air Audio about this. Do not, I repeat, do not open the chassis yourself. This unit does arrive with a 2-year guarantee, incidentally. So how does this unit perform? Well, I split my sound tests into 3. Initially, I tested my source components, and by source components I mean CD player, turntable, phono amplifier, preamp, and I tested those on their own. After that I switched everything around and I put all my power components onto the AC-2K. So that includes things like my power monoblocks, but it also includes my electrostatic speakers, which are powered and run off the mains. Once I'd done those separate sound tests, I combined all my hi-fi and had the entire hi-fi running through the AC-2K just to see what the differences were for each and every step. I began with a vinyl version of Greenslade's proggy Time and Tide on WEA from 1975. I first plugged my front end components into a power block and fed that into the AC-2K. Okay, there's a lot to report here, so let's get on with it. Firstly, I was impressed by the tonal balance. There was a host of bass here that I was not normally used to hearing on this track. This provided a weight to the bottom end of this track that added a new foundation to the music, but it also acted as a driving force. Hence, pace seemed to pick up here. Another reason for the increase in pace was the focus, which was honed and tight. Bass was mobile and fleet of foot. Its rather nimble action meant that it sped along but jabbed its way right through the track, like a young Cassius Clay as was, moving, jabbing, landing punches, and then was gone before the source could be located. There was a sense of bass movement here, as opposed to big bass bottom. This gave the music a greater sense of action. The bass here seemed just as active as the upper mids and the treble. As for the noise floor, well, that took a dive downwards, which was revealed well during the later female backing harmony vocals. The reverb tails emanating from the sequence and the space around them in and around the soundstage seemed to grow. Transient performance was also notable and was effective during cymbal hits. The action of that initial hit, not the fragile after effects, although they were impressive too, but the actual hit, the actual moment of the strike, the drumstick hitting the metal, seemed more significant now. This moment had a greater effect. There almost seemed to be more effort placed into this action now. Turning to the CD version of Morgana King's 1973 Paramount album New Beginnings, and the track Like a Seed that featured a rather funkified, jazzified, hippified orchestral backing, plus harmony backing vocals. Here I was better able to hear the child's chant during the play at the beginning. The newfound precision allowed the diction to better project itself to the ear. Strings also provided a more sweeping, richer tone, while the acoustic guitar strums on the left channel offered a newfound delicacy that spoke of a group of strings flying in close formation. The bongo's intriguing mix of dead skin thwack with a slight reverb tail was projected well on the right channel. The low noise added character to this instrument. The lead vocal was also now able to slightly distance itself from the backing orchestra, allowing itself to infuse more emotion in this performance. It was at this point that I unplugged my source components from the AC-2K and plugged in my power components, and this is what I found. I played both the rock and vocal jazz tracks one after another. What did I hear? In a word, weight. Lots of bass weight. The lower end frequency presence was enhanced here. Again, the removal of excess noise allowed the remaining frequencies to come forward to the ear, and here in this section of my hi-fi, that meant raw and unadulterated power. Power and that bass heft. The sense of gravity was obvious now. The confidence was also enhanced here as well. The music felt sure of itself and better able to do its thing. It was a joy to hear it strut, actually. Even the jazz track, one that moved towards analytical accuracy, felt more secure and definite in its movements. Finally, I took out the power components from the AC-2K and I installed my entire hi-fi into the AC-2K as one entire unit. So combining the source and the power components together, this is what I found from the AC-2K. Well, as you might guess, the combination proved to be enhanced detail and power, a combination of presence and confidence, but with added clarity and transparency, tonal balance, but also mobility and finesse. What I liked about the AC-2K was that firstly, it improved the entire frequency spectrum, and with one flick of the main switch, everything was enhanced from top to bottom. Everything. There were no trade-offs here, only positives. But what really got me here was plugging the AC-2K into my hi-fi, or rather my hi-fi into the AC-2K. It sounded like a major component upgrade, and this is why earlier I felt calling this box a mere accessory really didn't give it the credit it deserves, because it's more than just an accessory. It is a major component upgrade, because basically what you're doing, you're improving the sound of every single box in your hi-fi. That is, every single component that runs through the AC-2K sounds better. So that means your entire hi-fi, everything actually improves in sound quality, because the noise floor decreases. You can hear more music, you can hear more detail, you can hear more from your hi-fi. It's actually adding value to the hi-fi you already own. You're hearing more from the hi-fi you already have. So do I recommend the AC-2K? Do I have to answer that? If I do, yes I do. Yes, I do recommend it. So grab one now, folks. And that's me done. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. If I can ask you a favor, if you do like this video, please hit the like button, because it sort of interacts with that YouTube algorithm thing, and when YouTube sees the likes, it sort of pushes the video on, it helps the channel grow and all that jazz. You know the sort of thing. Anyway, it'll be a great help if you can, so thank you in advance. I will see you in the next video, hopefully. Until then, bye bye for now.